Hello everybody and welcome to another VCF East Swap Meet video. This swap meet took place on June 7th, 2025 in Wall, New Jersey and was put on by the Vintage Computer Federation. To learn more about these events, go to vcfed.org. It was quite overcast for the day and there was a threat of showers throughout the whole day, but we were hoping that most of the bad weather would subside to allow us to have our swap meet uninterrupted. Here's a look at the free pile. I had already put that IBM Selectric on the bottom left, and there was a scanner of mine that I also put on here to try and give to a good home. It's sort of weird though. I always bring that scanner and I always end up bringing it home. That's the one there on the right, but I just can't bring myself to throw it away. So maybe one of these days somebody will decide they need one in their life and will take it home. There were a number of interesting things on the free pile, and I ended up taking home this Dell PowerEdge server. In short, I need a replacement for my network-attached storage system. This one is missing the power supply, but hopefully with that replaced, maybe this will be a good solution for me. We'll have to wait and see. I wasn't as thorough recording video as I usually am at these events. There was a lot to look at, and unfortunately because of the weather, I thought I had to be a bit quick in looking at what there was for sale, because I thought I might miss out when the weather started to turn sour. But as you can see, there's a lot of mix of different items on display. That's always the case at these swap meets. You really never know what you're going to find, and it's always exciting just to see what people have on display and what seems to be the popular recurring item of the day. At this particular swap meet, I noticed a lot of Apple II and Macintosh items. I also saw a lot of PowerMac G5s and Mac Pros and G4 towers and the like, and there was absolutely no shortage of beige PC towers. Instead of doing a voiceover here where I'll probably repeat myself, I'll put some music over this footage here, and then I'll come back later and show you some pictures and some other clips. Here's the deal maker right here.
Brittle plastics are my thing, bro.
Of course, going to a swap meet in challenging weather conditions isn't half as fun without meeting some friends along the way. Thankfully, there was no shortage of familiar faces. These folks always seem to be there, either selling some cool things or just browsing around just like I was, trying to find a good deal on something or just seeing what there was to pick up. Speaking of picking up some cool things, here's some things that I saw. I didn't necessarily buy them, but these were neat. I almost bought this one because it was just so weird, but a friend of mine picked it up, so that's good enough for me. I do love these home theater style PC cases, but I already have a smaller one I haven't done something with yet, so I didn't need a second one. And although it started to rain during the event, a lot of people had umbrellas and tents and tarps, so a lot of people just continued to sell like nothing was going on. This PC case was cool. It didn't have the front of it, but I do love that knockoff Alienware design. Then there was this PC with a huge power button on it. I don't know, that was just goofy to me, so I liked it. This reminded me that I have a very similar HP desktop. Let me know if I should do a video about this thing in the future. My friends here had a lot of cool things on display, and I'm glad they sold them, otherwise I would have been tempted to pick some of their items up. This is Sean's table. He was selling a lot of cool Commodore stuff, including his little TV tennis box. And then there's this random box full of Star Trek software. Now this was super cool. If it was SCSI, I would have bought it in a heartbeat. This is a tape backup solution, but it's parallel. I can't imagine how painful it would be to back up 6 gigabytes over a parallel port. Ugh. Here's something you don't see every day, an HP DeskWriter 660C printer in the box. This is even the special Macintosh version. It was very tempting, but I don't need another inkjet printer. The same seller also had this boxed Macintosh Quadra 610. I would have gotten this, but I already had one of these machines with the boxes, so I didn't need to. But I did buy one of the items they had on display, this Macintosh 2. It's a little sad looking in some areas, and I opened it up on a recent live stream, or at least the power supply, which was dusty and dirty inside. But the bigger problem here is that, well, it's problematic. It's missing a few things, like the processor and the ROMs. You kind of need those. And of course, the bottom of the case is really rusty. I'm not sure if we could do anything about this, but I picked it up for $7. I gave him a 10 and told him to keep the change. But I mean, I guess some parts of it are worth it, especially the power supply, if I could get that working. Anyway, my friend Chris here had a few cool Macintosh items for sale, including both of these Power Macs, although one of them is in a Quadra case, and this very cool Radius monitor. Oh, that would have been great to pick up if I had the space for it. I do love the design of this little Acer Aspire computer, so that was cool to see in person. I remember seeing one on LGR previously. This 19-inch Sony Trinitron TV was really cool to see. It was quite tempting, but I don't need another CRT TV in my life at the moment. And if you want a mini fridge that doubles as a server, well, look no further than this Dell PowerEdge. My goodness, is this thing a tank. This Roland device in a suitcase was pretty cool. I mean, look at all those buttons. Look at this poor 44 megabyte SideQuest cartridge left out in the rain. And look at these Google servers. I'm pretty sure those are rebranded PowerEdge servers, but pretty neat to see. So what did I buy? Well, a friend of mine was selling his spare Pioneer CLD PC-10 Laserdisc player. This player is unique because it was designed to match the Power Macintosh clone that Pioneer also made. So thank you, Dan, for putting this up for sale. I picked up this little thermal printer for a few dollars. I'm hoping it could replace the Sony thermal printer that I'm currently using when I go to VCF and set up a selfie station. Hopefully that'll work out for me. This seller had some Power Mac boxes under the table, and it was tempting, so I ended up looking at them, and yeah, I took one home, and then I took home its friends, because when are you gonna see these things again? This was super cool to see, and I know it's stupid and it's frivolous, but it made me smile. I also picked this up for only a few bucks. This is a unique floppy disk holder. It has 2 levels, and it's pretty smooth in its operation. It's not janky or anything like that, and they are clipped to each other, which is nice, so you have double the storage for all your floppy disks. Now I know I just said I didn't need another inkjet printer, but hear me out. My friend Elliot had this printer at his table and nobody was interested in it, so it went home with me. I love this stupid thing. First off, the Epson Stylus 740 and 740i series were great solid inkjet printers back in the day. Of course, this is the Tangerine model. They released 5 different colors to match Apple's iMac computers of the day. If you have the purple or grape model, please let me know. I needed to complete my unnecessary Infinity Stone gauntlet of Epson color printers. This little HP CD reader and writer is a USB version, although I have a scuzzy one that looks very similar to this. This was on someone's table that they were trying to sell, but at the end of the day they said, it's free, take it. And so I picked it up because it's always good to have a spare external CD drive option for PCs, especially if you're trying to restore a laptop or something like that, and you don't have a CD drive for it, or maybe it's not working. Now this bag of sadness was on the free pile, but it was a bunch of PowerBook G4 titanium parts. I'm sure a lot of these are not working, but there's a screen in there. So you never know, maybe I could follow my pal Garth Beagle's restoration tips, and I too can restore one of these to its former glory. My good friend Tom, file photo here, thought it would be fun to throw this Dell Optiplex my way and say, hey, it's your problem now. However, if the power supply works, it's actually handy to me because I have one of these machines with a busted power supply. So the joke's on you, Tom. Well, that's if this thing actually works. At the show this year, there were 8 ImageWriter 2s for sale just in this one area, and actually a lot of them sold throughout the event. However, the boxed one didn't sell, although I knew it was going to go to a good home, and that left 2 of them on the free pile. One of them was in significantly better condition than the other one, and while we both know how this ends, yes, I brought it home. I mean, look, it needs love, it needs care, it needs a fresh ribbon. And this one actually isn't in too bad of a shape. Yes, there's some rust up there, but the case itself looks like it's in pretty good condition. Also, a lot of people don't know this, but the ImageWriter 2 makes for an excellent laptop stand. I mean, the ergonomics of this thing alone are excellent. Just ask your physical therapist. The reason I actually picked up the second one, which was more yellowed, is because it's the last revision of the ImageWriter 2 they made. This one has a different power supply, and you could tell because the port is on the side of the printer and not built into the leg of the printer. In my daunting collection of ImageWriter 2 printers, I only had one of these models previously, and I want to practice opening up and recapping the power supply on this without risking damaging the one that I have that's in good shape. Plus, as a bonus, when I removed one of the screws here, I saw something just hiding below the plastic. That's right, this is a Local Talk option card. This is a networking card for the ImageWriter 2 printer that allows you to connect it to a network of Macintosh computers so they could all share the printer. I've picked up a dozen ImageWriter 2 models over the years, and none of them ever had one of these cards built in. So I think that was a pretty lucky find, even if it was just a happy accident while rescuing these sad printers. Don't worry, I won't let anybody hurt you. But if you want one of those networking cards for your ImageWriter 2 or ImageWriter LQ, well, there's good news because you don't have to pay those ridiculous eBay prices. My friend Ian Scott, who's responsible for the PicoGus, made an Image Scribbler Local Squawk option card that's a recreation of the card for the ImageWriter. So if you want to participate in Global Talk and Marcintosh stuff next year, go pick one up. You could find them and the PicoGus, plus a lot of cool stuff from a lot of cool people at jcm-1.com. Well, that's about it for the swap meet. If there was something that you saw in the video that you would have picked up, let me know down below in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll catch you right here next time on Mac 84. I was going to print out all the supporter names on this newly acquired ImageWriter, but it's a little unhappy. Yeah, you keep getting stuck there. Oh boy. Does anybody want to buy a slightly used ImageWriter 2 printer?